Okay, I'm glad you can do it.
Okay, we're
Okay,
recording.
super. Fantastic. Thanks. Sorry
No,
about that.
no worries, no worries. Okay, let me pull up the doc again. Okay, so what is the City Nature Challenge for those of you that are new? It's a BioBlitz. It's going to be in 400 plus cities around the world. It's a friendly competition, not a real hardcore competition. We've put a link in the doc if you want to see the map of all the cities around the world that are participating. We've put a link in there, and so we in the DC metro area, I think this is like maybe our eighth or ninth year. We've always done extremely well with the City Nature Challenge because we have so many great nature nerds in the area. Ways that you can get involved, it's for all levels. So people that are, master naturalists, people, family with their kids, teachers, scouts, just taking your families out. It's what's great about it is anybody can participate, which is wonderful. We basically are going to be spreading the word about this to the DC metro area, and the DC metro area includes it includes counties in Maryland and Virginia, so it's not just DC. And we'll be just spreading the word so that everybody knows that they can be using this app, iNaturalist, to go out and make observations during April 26th to 29th. What's great about the City Nature Challenge is it can be incorporated into things that are already existing. For example, Matt at Nova Parks, like he might be already doing some programming that weekend with either birding or tree walks or something like that. And very simply, he can just make those observations part of the City Nature Challenge. So it's not a heavy lift in a lot of cases. It's literally just getting people outside at nature centers, gathering groups of master naturalists, or garden groups are great. Even though you can't typically make observations of things in a garden because they are not wild, anything that's on them is fair game. So all the bugs and critters and pollinators and such. We're going to provide some information for you guys to you can create signage that you can put up at your local parks and on your trailheads. Other ways you can do it is you might have a group of teachers or a group of parents that you want to have a virtual meeting. We're going to do a couple of those virtual trainings leading up to the challenge, and we'll make sure that all of you are abreast of when we're doing that. And we also, it's just observations are not the only thing that we're doing. We want to recruit people to help us make identification. So if you know people that are really great at bugs or really great at birds, maybe not able to make participate in making observations, but during the next couple of days after that, able to help us with making identifications, that is an expertise that we're definitely looking at as well. Seek by iNaturalist, the app. I don't know how many of you used it. I love it personally. I use it kind of interchangeably with iNaturalist. It started off as a more of a family oriented app, but it's now connected to iNaturalist, and it's a little simpler to use in that you just can literally hold up your phone, and it'll start making identifications right then and there. So if you're not familiar with it, I definitely encourage you to just click on that link, download it, and kind of explore Seek by iNaturalist. And I think on some of our resources on our webpage, we might even have like a couple videos on like how to use Seek. Identification nights. And oh, Deborah, feel free if I'm missing anything as we go down this list, feel free to pop in and interrupt me, please. And also, Deborah, I'm going to say that I can't see the chat. So if anybody puts any questions in the chat, please let me know.
I will. I'm watching the chat for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So the identification, which we were just talking about, we're going to be doing 2 ID nights the week after the observation. So that's where we're basically again on a Zoom. We're going to break out into breakout rooms, and we're going to divide it by taxa. And so if you're a bird nerd, we might go into the bird room with like Matt and some other people. And if Lonzo is going to be maybe in a room with herps, that type of thing. It's a really great way to learn. So you don't have to know everything. You can just be in a room helping to try to decide and look at the different characteristics of the observations made just to make some identifications. And then Deborah will facilitate those as she does we do those monthly. We do monthly iNaturalist identification themed nights. And so she will be our point of contact for that. And there's a link in here to register for all the upcoming monthly iNat nights that we have. Social media. So the way we spread the word is pretty much through our own networks and social media. And so we will be providing you guys some images, some generic CNC City Nature Challenge images that you can share on your networks. or maybe you want to brand yourself, that type of thing. So we'll share those with you. We encourage you to follow all the different accounts that we have, and share and post and retweet and all that kind of stuff. And if there's anybody on this call that has any specific expertise with social media, we would love to have help with that, just because every year we have had different people kind of help us spread the word using social media. So if you are into that, please let me know. That would be great. Or put something in the chat. The website, I'm going to ask Deborah, do you want to talk about the website then, since that's your baby?
Yes, certainly. So, you see in our notes document, we're down to about the seventh bullet or so. There's a link to the website right here in this notes document. And the intention of that website is to give newcomers an idea of what the City Nature Challenge is all about. It's intended to be very simple, very welcoming. There are tabs that will feature maps that have pins for each of the scheduled events that we hear about. Virtual events don't need to pin on a map because they're virtual, but things like our virtual ID nights, virtual trainings, those will be listed on that website. In addition, the in-person observation events. And in previous years, we've typically had more than 50 different observation events sponsored by the various organizations, people like you all who are calling in. And we've also got some tabs that were new last year that have more in-depth information and resources for observers, for identifiers, for teachers and other youth leaders, and for event organizers. So feel free to peruse that website. If you can think of any resources that should be added, I would love to hear about them. If your organization is participating in City Nature Challenge by running an event or publicizing our events, then I would love to have your logo for inclusion in that website. And you can just email it to me.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions about the website? It's there year round. We just kind of pay attention to it the few months before and immediately after the City Nature Challenge, but we've had that website for about 5 years. And it's, I hope, a helpful information resource for you all.
Yeah, there's so many great resources. When I'm talking up binaturalists, like anywhere I am, I always, refer them there, so that, there's different trainings that we've had, organized in the past and archived. And so it's a definitely great resource. Thank you for doing that for us, Deborah. You are the bomb.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Just moving down, media outreach. So the global organizers typically release a couple weeks out a press release. We have a press release that we have just kind of updated each year. So we usually kind of do our own, but then there's sometimes it's based off the global one, but the global one goes out a little bit later. So we like to get ours out a little bit earlier. So we'll be sharing a link to that once that is updated. In the past, in terms of graphic resources, we used to do postcards and send out postcards to people, or actually give them out, not send them out. And we decided, since we don't really have a budget and since nobody's printing anything anymore, we basically are just doing everything, online. So we're making flyers, we're making signs, and then people can choose to print signs to, like I said, put on their trailhead or their nature centers. And so we have some links to some examples. I need to go and update them for 2024. So I'll be doing that. The one-page flyer link is something that the global folks have put out. I'm pretty sure they've probably put out a new one. So we'll definitely, it's basically just kind of like a history of the City Nature Challenge, in case anyone wants more behind the scenes information about how it originated and how it's been going. It's grown exponentially over the years. We use the English logos and some of the Spanish logos, but they have given us a bevy of all different languages. So if you have a certain language group that you need to, and if you don't see them there, please let us know and we can reach out to the global organizers to see if we can get any missing language logos. There's a CNC style guide. So they're really particular about if you're doing any of your own signage, you're making your own customized, flyers and things like that. There's the style guide's going to tell you, kind of what you need to do. And it includes making sure that it's branded with the organizers, the two organizers, the LA, what is it? The California Academy of Sciences and the LA History Museum, Natural History Museum, that they have a branded sort of lockup logo that if you're going to be promoting, please use their logo. And that's called the organizer lockup. Let's see, the global folks have made slides. And so we will also have slides, like we said, because we're going to be presenting, I think we'll get down to that later on, but we're Sarah Nella and Deborah and I will be doing sort of an intro to the City Nature Challenge right before the challenge. And so we'll be sharing those slides with you guys. Last year we got t-shirts put up on a store. That was super exciting. For years I've been wanting t-shirts and stickers and swag. And so we put it in a place called, when they put it on the website, Bonfire, where it's not a fundraiser and you're getting it at cost. So like no one's making any money off it or anything. We just kind of put the design up there. And if you want a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that, you can just go up and order them. I have a few myself, so I highly recommend that. And then if you have any, if you guys make stickers with your organization, I want to touch base with somebody who makes stickers because I want to get some stickers going on this year. So that would be really exciting. I'm all about the swag. Let's see, education. We've had some folks in the past that have taken the lead on working with educational groups. So working with teachers, working with scouts. I'm not sure this year if we have the same people going on that are helping with that. So if you know anybody that might be working on the City Nature Challenge that has sort of a background or a network with educational folks like that, please put them in contact with us so that maybe we can help them, help us promote to that particular group.
On that note, Anna,
yes.
I'm looking to do like a training, and it's intended for Nova Park staff, but also the public. And I don't have a date for that yet, but we're looking at trying to pick a park that has like a decent enough capacity to do like an INAT training and City Nature Challenge overview. So at least wanted to throw that out there. We'd love to have people come in and participate.
Yeah, and we can definitely help you promote that, like by putting it on our, putting it on our website. We'll put it obviously on our Capital Nature website. And then are you thinking of doing that in person or virtually or both?
That would be in person.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And for those of you that are doing any virtual trainings besides the ones we're doing, the global organizers have also reached out and said, hey, if anybody's doing any trainings that you don't care if somebody from California or somebody from Arizona dials in to learn about how to use iNaturalist and what happens at the City Nature Challenge, because the trainings are pretty generic. They're not super specific to our area. We highlight areas to go to, but anybody can attend. And so if that's something that you think your organization or you personally are going to do, please let us know, because then we can help that get promoted by the global organizers on their website. Let's see, what else are we looking at? Yeah, we want to expand how many groups, different types of groups are participating. We're so excited that Green Muslims are here. I know I've been talking to Sevim. She's a colleague of mine in Fairfax Master Naturalists. And I know that you guys do regular walks. And so if a walk can be organized with your group, I think that would be amazing. So I look forward to working with you guys. If there's anybody else that knows of any particular groups, I believe one of the Latino groups last year expressed interest, and I'm not sure if they participated, but I will circle back with them. I don't want to say it was Naturally Latino because that's the conference, but one of the group, Latino Outdoors, I believe it was Latino Outdoors. And so groups like that, if you know of anybody, please put them in contact with Deborah or myself, and we can get them the right kind of resources. I'm going to let Deborah, since she created these wonderful best practices for in-person events and stuff. Do you want to talk about those, Deborah?
Sure. A few years ago, we decided that we needed to give people a little bit more help in the how-tos of organizing events, keeping people on the trail, communicating clearly about what the landowners' expectations were about rules for visiting, like is this a no trash park, are dogs allowed, that sort of thing. So we put our heads together and we developed a very long version and a very short version of a set of things to think about when you're planning an event, a live observation event in the field where you're inviting people to come make observations. So the long form is there for you to use and make a copy and tailor it for your own location. It just gives you a whole bunch of things to think about that we hope will prevent any problems as you're leading your event. Things to think about beforehand, things to do during, and things to help you follow up afterwards. And then the short version is just a simple little like half-page cheat sheet that you can print out and stick in your pocket for when you have come to feel very adept at leading events, but you just want a little checklist of how to structure the event and things not to forget. Those are what those are all about. So they're right there in the Google Docs folder. Please make a copy and consider it open source and have at it and do whatever it needs to have done to it to make it useful for you at your location with your audience. We're very happy to share it.
Thanks, Deborah. Public programs to recruit participants. So, for example, this is where we would list, like, depending on when Matt has his event, we would list like, hey, these are the things that are coming up that we can promote, just mention the City Nature Challenge at. And so we have the March 12th, the date, that is the next, that's the next INAT night, isn't it? Isn't it, Deborah?
Let me just check and be sure.
I think it is. Is that,
Yes.
and is that the one are you leading that one?
Yeah, that's the one that I'm doing to focus on using iNaturalist in the garden, and I'm recruiting people from various gardening groups that I'm part of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, as I mentioned before, on April 9th, we'll be sort of doing an intro to INAT and the City Nature Challenge with Deborah Saranella and myself. So we hope that you can attend those. And again, you can attend ours, or if you want to do your own, we're happy to share slide decks with you, or any resources if you want to, have private events with your own folks. So these different events can be just for your groups, or they can be open to the public, whatever works best for you. And when Deborah has set up the form, to list your programming, you can say like, this is open to the public, or this is not open to the public. This is just, something that that just our group is participating. Like if you have a Girl Scout group or something like that, or a Boy Scout group or something like that.
Exactly. And I have set up the form. I just couldn't find the link.
Oh, great.
But I've dropped the link in the chat for when you have figured out the time, date, location for your event. This is the form that you use to let us know about it so that I can put it on our regional website. And I will also, now that I have found the link to the form, I will also put that into the notes document.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So hubs facilitation. So hubs was kind of this term that we came up a couple years ago. It was kind of like sort of interest groups, amongst sort of like subsets of us nature nerds in the DC metro area. One of them we've already spoken about, which are the education folks. We also in the past have done a couple calls with specifically park naturalist and nature center staff, just because that's kind of a unique group of people because they're all out doing events anyway. Also east of the river, so working with groups like Friends of Oxen Run, Ward 8 Woods, folks, getting their kids out there. I love doing that every year with Brenda and Ab over there at Oxen Run. So if any of that sort of interests you, getting involved in any of those types of activities, or even coming up with new groups or interest groups that you think might be interested in the City Nature Challenge, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we want to help convene people. We want to help connect the right people to each other. So we have a little question here. What kinds of events are you considering this year? So I'm just curious if there's anybody on the call that maybe already knows something that they might be doing anyway already, or maybe something that you would want to do. So like, I think we've heard from Matt. Matt's considering doing a training, it sounds like, in person at one of his parks. But is there anybody in particular, like Mindy for Living Classrooms, I believe, like what, I think, did you say Tree ID, I think you said. Is that what you said?
But yeah, for Potomac Conservancy, we want to do probably a walk on each Maryland and Virginia side, focusing on Tree ID, but all ID is fine.
Got it. That's great. Anybody else? Brenda, I'm assuming, or we're going to be doing some stuff with you guys?
Yeah, yes, I just sent you an email and Ab just got back. So last year when you did it around the stream, that was fabulous.
Yeah.
So we would love to do that with you again this year, if possible.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So we'll be doing that at Oxen Run. That's great. And actually, we also did an event for high school kids at Hope Branch Park. And that was great because a lot of these kids, had never used iNaturals before and had never been in Hope Branch Park before. And so that was kind of a cool thing to do. So we'll reach out to, we work with DPR to do that. So DC DPR. So we'll see if we can do that again. Anybody like, the representative from Green Muslims. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm gonna go up and check your name. It's Jenna. For you guys,
Yes.
would you typically just be doing like a hike maybe that weekend for your group?
Most likely, you know, but honestly, I don't want to speak necessarily without Sevim because, you know, she's the one typically doing these programs and running the programs. But I would imagine, yes. You know, she's also a master naturalist, so I think, you know, she might be interested in doing, you know, with the identifications and whatnot and helping out with that. But I'd have to loop back with her, but definitely a hike would be something that we could do, I would think.
Excellent,
So,
excellent.
yeah.
Because that's a lot of the things that you guys do with your group, correct? You're taking hikes in the different
Correct.
areas. Yeah.
Yep. Various communities and schools and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's definitely something that we can do.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, Alonzo, I know you're always super busy. Are you going to be doing any walks for any groups or just doing IDs? What's your deal this year?
Yeah, good question. Kind of up in the air as far as what I'm doing. I'll do my best to participate. I'm not leading any groups, I believe, during that weekend.
You
So
say
we'll
that
sort of-
you say that yet.
Yeah, well, there are lots of people. I've been out of the country for a little while, so I'm just responding back to different people. But regardless, I'll try to help out any way I can and assist with the ID nights and do some things on my own if I can. But again, we'll sort of see. I really have not thought that much about it so
Okay.
far this year.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
glad I'm here now because now that puts a fresh in my mind.
Or are you just going to be like topping the leaderboard the whole time? Is that
I'm just going to have
what you're
fun.
doing?
We're going to have fun. We'll sort of see what
So
we'll end up doing.
we have, you know, Alonzo is in our midst, right? He's always way up there on the leaderboard. So if you strive to have a lot of observations, you want to be, you know, a little fun competitive with Alonzo here because he's always got lots of cool observations. Hey, Jackie, what are you thinking up in your neck of the woods?
This is the first year that we're not going to be actually offering any public events through parks, but we always participate with our volunteers. So for our master naturalists, we have them form little groups to go survey different parks within our system. So we'll have like a group of people team up on birds or a group of people team up on wildflowers and focus on something. As their facilitator, I think it's a really great opportunity for them to actually increase their field identification skills. So I give them credit master naturalist hours for doing these surveys during the challenge weekend, as long as they're doing it in one of our parks, because it helps us learn more about our parks and then it helps them become better naturalists. So I think it's like a win-win. So no public programs this year for us, but of course we'll be encouraging our master naturalists to get out there.
That's so great. I'm just curious, how many people, like, do you have a current class going on right now?
I do, yes.
Yeah. How many students do you have in that?
So I have, we're training our next cohort this spring. There'll be 16 people in that class. And then I also have my existing group of about 35 active master naturalist volunteers. So those two groups combined.
That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, Glenn, you were with me when we were with the kids at Oxen Run last year. Are you going to be participating this year as well?
Yes, I will. I want to do something similar to that. And I actually reached out not too long ago to Erica Green. She runs a few like science like camps in the park already. And so I was going to speak with her to see how could we incorporate the City Nature Challenge into that. And then also just get people out.
Excellent. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Joy, you mentioned when we were just chatting beforehand, you said maybe Stafford County you were going to be doing some stuff in?
It'd be Prince William.
Prince William, and you're in Stafford County, I think you said.
Yeah, I'm just located in North Stafford County, right below Quantico, but I'm in the Prince William Master Naturalist, and we're gonna start off with some iNaturalist training in March, and then we'll be doing some things in April, obviously. So we'll have a couple of things going on. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Well, I think we've heard from it. Matt, besides your one event, is there any other aspiration or anything you want to be doing besides going maybe birding with me at Huntley Meadows or something that weekend as a tradition?
Yes, many.
Okay.
Trying to offer, so with the exception of Sunday, the 28th, because I have softball, trying to take advantage of every other day, for programming. And I'm just trying to spread them out the best that I can. As of now, I plan on doing programs, and the dates are still I'm still trying to again puzzle piece it. But I'm looking at doing programs at Meadowlark, Potomac Overlook, Gilbert's Corner, which is in Aldi, and
What's the new one? Winkler?
I'm also doing a campground program. Sorry, I might do one at Winkler too. Yeah, I'm gonna either the 26th or 27th at Winkler.
Okay.
I'm
What
just
did
trying
you-
to hit some of our parks that have. Go ahead.
No, you mentioned something right before
You were
Winkler.
saying?
You went out for a second. Something about campground.
Oh yeah, I was saying, Pohick Bay has a campground, and they want me to do campground programs there. So I thought this would be a great way to do a campground program as requested by them and tie it into the City Nature Challenge. So that one is going to be limited to those who are camping at Pohick Bay.
Yeah.
But that'll get, I think that's a great way to unlock City Nature Challenge with that audience.
Very cool. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear about those. Great.
So,
Oh, Carrie Seltzer
about
joined
half
us.
an
Yeah, that's great. That's a lot. Thank you. Hey, Carrie Seltzer, thanks for joining. We're just curious, what are you doing for the City Nature Challenge this year? And will you introduce yourself, please, to the group?
Sure. Hi, folks. I'm Carrie Seltzer. I'm the head of engagement for iNaturalist. So I'm taking a less active role in organizing the City Nature Challenge this year. But it looks like I might be helping cover Help at INAT that weekend. Also we're hiring. Check out our website and spread the word. We're going to be announcing a few more positions over the next few weeks. So I am not making any other commitments yet. I will probably just be staffing the help desk and trying to do some exploration on my own.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. Okay, guys, so I kind of whizzed through our agenda very quickly. We have other links in here, such as the website that Deborah referenced before. That link to sign up for those virtual monthly ID nights, iNaturalist nights that we have. If you haven't, I imagine most of you heard of this through one of the two Google groups that we manage. We have the City Nature Challenge sort of focus group that interested folks, and then we have the Regional Citizen Science group. So you may be on one or both of those groups, and that's who we sent the invitation to this call for. Also, the project's been set up by iNaturalist. Every year there's a new one. So if you have not already joined the project, please do. We want to encourage as many people as possible to go and click join, just so that we have a number of people that we know are consciously participating. I think for those of you that don't know, even if you haven't joined the project, but you make observations during the observation period within the geographic location of the DC metro area, your things are going to count. So even if you haven't clicked join, we're still going to be able to count your observations, which is great for us, but we'd still like to increase our numbers of how many people are legit saying, hey, I'm joining this project. Also, I think Deborah already mentioned this, but just to reiterate that if you are participating for the first time and we don't have your logo and you'd like to add your organizational logo onto our partners page, please email Deborah with your logo. That would be great. Check out our resources page with all the different archival information that we have in videos and things. And then Deborah has already mentioned she's got the form set up. So, and then we have our next two meetings. So if you guys know anybody that you think should be, even if it's like a neighbor with a bunch of kids that want to go out or something together, we have two more calls coming up in March, and Tuesday, March 9th is the next call. And then after that will be April 16th. Does anybody have any questions? This was pretty quick and dirty, but we just wanted to kind of get you the links and the information and get people going. Because it's really exciting.
I'm sorry if you covered this already. Two quick things. One is, I guess for advertising, promoting materials update for the new year. I think we had actually looked to see if there was any new stuff for this
Yeah.
year, and I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing anything.
Yeah. So that's on me. I will be updating like the poster and the flyer this week. And then we'll make sure that we share that, that we let everybody know, like, hey, go in there and check that out. Yeah, definitely. Thanks.
The other thing, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You had a second question?
Yeah, the other thing was about we had chatted in person a few weeks ago about starting projects, and I haven't looked into it yet, but I was curious if anyone had any tips before I dive in to starting projects, especially when it comes to like the geographical boundaries.
Yeah, so let me give Carrie a little bit of background on that. So Carrie and I was at an event with Matt at Potomac Overlook, and was talking with one of his colleagues, and they were talking about how cool it would be to set up projects for some of the properties, like Meadowlark and things like that, just to kind of gauge how each of the properties are doing. And I told him that as you get closer, I know there's a limit on how many you can do per day and stuff like that. You as being an iNaturalist, I know there's like the pros and cons of doing the projects, but is it something that we could just go ahead and help Matt do?
Definitely. Potomac Overlook Park already has 2 places in iNaturalist. So for that one, you should just look and see what's already there. And it may be that some of the other parks are already there too. But for the ones that aren't, that you want to add, definitely start adding them now, because you can only add a few places each day. And there will be a point where we'll sort of restrict that even further. And I know some of these parks are very popular and might already have a lot of observations, which is what we most have to limit for capacity reasons.
And Matt, I think in our slide deck that we have a slide that shows you like the steps on how to do it. So we can share a link with you. iNaturalist has on their website like, hey, how do you add a you basically need to be able to draw out your boundaries. That type of thing.
Does it retroactively include past observations in those boundaries? That's great.
Yeah, so you'll be able to, and then you can filter it by year. Like if you want to look up what you guys did in 2023 and comparing it to 2024, I know that's something that your colleague thought would be cool to kind of see if there was a difference between like, hey, this is what we did, this was our impact in 2023, and this is what it is in 2024.
And you said you could filter City Nature Challenge.
Yeah, you can put in the dates. Yeah, you can put in the dates. You can even, if you wanted to do a special one, like what are the birds we saw in the City Nature Challenge last year versus this year? There's all kinds of ways that you can filter out by taxa and date and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Great questions. Any other questions, you guys, so I can give you back some more of your time to the day? Anything? We won't have to do a full hour meeting. Woohoo. Any other questions? We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. I would say, Deborah, would you agree with me that, for the next 2 meetings, like we're pretty much going to be covering this kind of the same stuff, right? And so, yeah, so like if you've attended this, you probably don't need to attend the other 2, but we highly encourage you to, if you have any colleagues or friends that you think would be interested, please share the information with them so they could join us.
Yep. So this notes document is your resource portal. It's got all these links in it. Over the last 6 years, we've created all sorts of resources to support people participating in the City Nature Challenge: observers, identifiers, organizers. If there's anything that you can't find through the links in this document, please get in touch with Anna or me. We will help you navigate to where that resource is if it exists. And if you can think of anything that doesn't exist yet that you think would be helpful, please let us know, because I know I have energy to make a couple of new things for this year. We've got such a good repository of stuff from previous years, but if there's a new need that still needs to be filled, let me know and we'll see what we can pull together.
Speaking of a new need, you did do a new cool thing in the last year or 2 where you guys put together a specific tutorial on or tips on sound recordings. Yeah, and I can't remember, is that on our resources page?
I'm pretty sure it's on the section that has resources for observers, and I want to give props to Jackie Rayford because
Yeah.
it was her notes and her experience trying to identify audio recordings that contributed most of the insights to that piece.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Deborah. Okay, great, guys. Well, we are so excited that you are excited about participating. So I'm going to stay on for a second in case anybody has any questions, and I'll stop the recording. But thanks for joining us today, and we're really looking forward to having you participate in the City Nature Challenge. Go get your swag. Go get your t-shirts.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Good to see you all.
Take care.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Carrie. Bye.